take a closer look at the latest hurdle facing the Trump organization. Now I'm talking about the family business. Shortly after the president took office, his sons, they assumed control of the family business, and they announced one of their most ambitious projects to date: 2 new lines of hotels that would target a younger customer base down in Mississippi and other rural areas where the president had wide support with voters, basically saying, hey, we're going to Trump country. But nearly a year and a half since announcing the plan to open 39 new properties, the whole thing is basically at a standstill, with the first hotel still a year away from opening its doors. And as the Washington Post details, new developments have become difficult for the Trump organization because it has agreed to not use foreign investors, and because of a vetting process for potential partners put in place after Trump entered the White House that included hiring an outside ethics advisors to renew potential deals. Tim is back with me. Tim, let's walk through why this is important. So first of all, when they first announced they were going to do these deals, everyone was up in arms saying, you can't make money off the fact that the president won. And they said, guess what? We are. But now they need to find financing. And for years, President Trump has not been able to get any U.S. investors, any U.S. lenders.
You know, actually, the idea for this hotel, they hatched it during the election. Don and Eric said they were traveling in the South, and they were so inspired by the outpouring of support for their father that they thought we should open a hotel chain in the South, which I also think is emblematic of what a lot of the people in the Trump campaign's real goals were. I don't think they were in this from the beginning for public service. I don't think they thought Trump...
You think they're in it for public service now?
No. No, I don't. Yeah. And I don't think they thought that Trump was going to win. I think they saw this as a business opportunity, and they meant to capitalize on that as soon as they possibly could. What happened here, however, is they're not really hotel operators. They were lending their names to another operator, and they've run into all sorts of hurdles for getting that done. It's a classic Trump problem. It's all about smoke and mirrors and not really the substance to be able to get something done and deliver it to a customer. They've never been good at that as a family. And I think right now the boys are also hamstrung, as they should be, by conflict of interest issues and conflict of interest guidelines. They can't be trading their proximity to their father or their father's position in the White House for financial gain.
They shouldn't, or they can't.
Well, we're actually seeing in this example that actually this is an example, one of the few, because I think there's larger and more problematic ones in which they haven't gotten hamstrung, in which ethics guidelines have tripped them up.
Well, except, of course, under the Emoluments Clause, states cannot provide benefits to the president. But according to the Washington Post, Mississippi's Department of Tourism approved $6 million in tax rebates for the hotels. I mean, wouldn't that pose a problem?
That's totally a problem. But it's what they will say is that neither one of the sons are government officials, that they've effectively put the president's holdings into a trust, and he has no role in this. That's, of course, not true. It's a lie. Eric Trump has already said publicly that the boys give their father profit and loss statements on a regular basis. He is still reviewing the family's finances. He's got his hands on how the business is run. The only other person outside of Donald and Eric who play a role in that running that business is Trump's CFO, Alan Weisselberg, who was handpicked by Trump. Those are the 3 people who are supposedly a buffer between the president and his wallet. And of course, that buffer doesn't really exist in practice.
But isn't that the same situation we see with the Kushners? While we say, hold on a second, if the Saudis bailed the Kushners potentially out of 666, a building they were hung with in New York, people have said forever, they can't do business with the Saudis, they can't do business with China. But they can, because technically Jared says, well, I'm not controlling the money. It's in a blind trust run by his sister and brother-in-law.
They also can because the GOP lacks the political courage to stand up and say this is an ethics violation. And this isn't about ideology, and it's not about partisan politics. It's about the running of government in a clean and honorable way.
Then will that change this year?
Well, you're going to have the House, I think, taking out microscopes across the entire Trump empire over the next year. And I think the Kushners are going to get swept up into that.
House party all night long. Say what?
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.